Hey everybody. Just want to make a video about something that I've been recently finding out about, which is a condition I've been suffering from and I couldn't put my finger on it, but now I know it's gastroparesis. I stumbled across it during research. I've been researching for years trying to figure out why I get sick as a dog for no reason. So sick that I have to spend the day in bed, miss work, can't do anything, no energy, vomiting like crazy, stomach pain like crazy. What's happening to me? And it didn't have it so much when I was a kid, but now I'm 50 years old. Little background, I'm about 6 foot, like 370, big dude. I've been big for like 35 years. I'm super active. I got a full-time job. I'm on my feet, physical job. And I have feet problems. And my feet get very sore and tired. I have leg problems, circulation problems. So when I get home from work, I put my feet up. And on Saturdays, I really spend a lot of time off my feet because I've got arthritis in one of my ankles. I've got venous stasis in my legs, so I have to elevate my legs to be in any kind of working shape come Monday. And it used to help a lot. Now it doesn't hardly help at all, and come Monday I'm pretty much still blown out. But that's not the point. Let me rewind. The time that when I really that changed my life with gastroparesis before I knew what it was about 15 years ago, probably 12 years ago. I had the worst stomach pain ever, vomiting, and it felt like something was in my stomach. The smell of what was in my stomach was otherworldly. It was worse than burning hair. It was essentially like rotting meat if you soak meat in like acid for 8 hours and then you open up the lid and take a sniff. That's essentially what was happening. And it was coming out of, I was burping it up, and the act of doing that alone, I knew something was very wrong. And then the stomach pain would follow, the vomiting would follow, and I said, what is inside of my body right now that's making me feel this way? At first I thought it was swine flu, because that's when the swine flu epidemic was happening years ago. And it was so bad that one time I was on all fours throwing up in the toilet, and I was retching so hard to try to get this thing out of my stomach that I got an umbilical hernia doing that, and they're fairly common. So watch out if you're throwing up hard and you're on all fours and your stomach is in a downward position. You will give yourself a hernia, and when it happens, it feels like there's an alien trying to bust out of your stomach, spasming. It lasts for about a good 5-10 minutes. It's your intestines breaching your intestinal wall and protruding into your behind your belly button. Essentially, your belly button is now holding in your intestines, not the abdominal wall. You've broken that. It pushes your intestines through the abdominal wall, and it leaves like a bump where your belly button is. And I've had it for about 12 years now, and I have to wear a belt every day to keep things in because I don't want to get the surgery. Long story, but I'm dealing with that as well. So it's the feet thing, the gastroparesis thing, and now the hernia thing, and it all works together. And what I recently found, I didn't know what was causing all of the vomiting and the sickness. I thought it was a virus. My wife gets it too, but my wife is diabetic. She has neuropathy in her feet. She can't feel her feet. When you have that neuropathy in your feet, the next nerve that goes is in your stomach, the one that controls your stomach contractions. the vagus nerve or whatever, and when that goes, that causes gastroparesis. So my wife also has this condition, but it's for an entirely different reason. I am not diabetic. I don't have neuropathy. And she's a stay-at-home mom, and she lays horizontal all day long. She eats in bed. She never gets vertical, and she gets sick all the time. I tell her sit up. Yeah, she doesn't. Okay. So with me, I would always wake up Sunday morning, 4 a.m. It started like a couple months ago, every Sunday, 4 a.m. Stomach pain, lucid, like fever dreams, like very vivid, active dreams. Your dreams are different with this stuff, I've noticed. And they're just very wild dreams. And next thing you know, you wake up, you got the stomach cramp, you sit up in bed, belch comes out, and it's that nasty gas, rotting meat. And then it's to the toilet, and you go round and round with the diarrhea, vomiting, stomach pain cycle all day long. I have to call in for work. There's only 2 people who work where I work, and I'm the head guy. So when I call in, it's kind of a big deal. And I've been having to call in, and sometimes it happens on Sunday nights into Monday, and I have to miss Monday. And the boss thought I think he thought I had a drinking problem, because I would always call in on Mondays. Oh, I don't feel good. I've got stomach pain. I don't know what's going on. And I felt like an idiot. Is it the flu? I don't know what's going on. I went to the ER one time when I had it, when I was in the middle of a flare up. I was vomiting. I was in the emergency room thinking that they could help me, like give me some blood tests, give me anything, give me something. The ER couldn't find anything. They gave me something for nausea. Go home and eat some yogurt. Your probiotics. You've got an imbalance in your gut that's making you. So they sent me home. I paid $2,000 overall for that ER visit. I've got nothing from it. Save your time. Don't go. I was throwing up in the ER waiting room, and they said, sorry, we don't see anything wrong with you. They made me feel like a fool. So I've been dealing with this for years and years. Very frustrated. Until I stumbled across gastroparesis, and it makes total sense. All the pieces fit. It's not toxoplasmosis, because we used to have a house with cat boxes and all that. I thought it was toxoplasma. I thought it was a bacterial infection. I thought it was a parasitic infection. I tried drinking all kinds of stuff. I did all kinds of shit. But usually the problem occurred with meat. First it was beef, red meat. I used to eat steak, brisket, man. I used to eat everything. I used to have a smoker. I used to eat half chickens. I used to make the best smoked barbecue. I sold my fucking smoker because my family was scared to eat meat, myself included. And I was having such bad luck with this. And right now I've got a Blackstone and a nice barbecue grill that are collecting dust because I can't eat meat. I'm too scared, and I never knew why. Because meat is very hard to digest and takes a lot of work from your stomach to process. And so do hard vegetables. Two of the foods you don't want to mess with. Those are the worst. Basically, I explained it to my wife like this. If you have a cup of water and you set it on the counter, anything you put in that water after 4 hours, if it turns to powder in the bottom of the cup, you're good. If it's like water soluble, if you put crackers in that water, they'll dissolve into nothing. You're good. If you put bread in that water, okay, it dissolves into nothing. You're pretty good. Right, normal bread. If you put hard vegetables in that water, they're not going to dissolve. You're going to have a problem. If you put a big chunk of steak in that water, after 8 hours, you're going to have a big chunk of steak. You're going to have a problem. So I call it the water cup test. So also, you have to remain vertical. What I found, I've had success over the past few months. I've had no flare-ups. This is the 4th of July weekend, and I had to kick this thing. So knowing what I know now about gastroparesis, I put everything together after watching a bunch of videos. The key to it is you have to remain upright. I have to remain upright. If I'm watching TV, when I'm on the couch, if I lean back on the couch, my stomach is not digesting, and I can feel my stomach shift when I lean back. When I lean forward, I can feel my stomach shift, and then the food starts to process. I can feel it, and I can hear it. I can hear it sloshing. So every once in a while, every 15 minutes or whatever, stand up. Even if you just stand in place, stand up. Or sometimes, you can bounce on your toes or whatever and kind of jiggle your gut a little bit, and that's motion that helps the digestion. Go outside, just stand up. Go out in the backyard, water the grass. Find things to do where you're standing up. That's huge. Chew your food. As some of these videos say, the doctors say, because your stomach's not helping digest your food, the more you chew your food, the smaller the bits become, the better it will pass through your system. That makes perfect sense. I never thought of that. Chew your food, and I'm trying to do it more and more. It's hard when you're hungry, but you have to think about it. And so I do that, and I'm doing that. And so far, everything's been working. I have an adjustable bed. I put the head of it up and tilt forward. Even if you don't have an adjustable bed, before I had that, I put a bunch of pillows and stuff underneath me because I like to sleep on an incline. It helps my gut work better. It helps everything work better. When I sleep flat, it feels like I'm falling backwards. I can't stand it. I need to be upright a little bit. So if I'm really sick or I need to, I can really incline, and that really seems to help. Adjustable beds are expensive. They're not for everybody. We just so happens that my wife wanted them, and we got them, and now it's a lifesaver. I could go back, but I'd have to have one of those foam wedges or something like that to keep the propped up and back. What else? There's obviously, if you're gonna eat any kind of meat, eat it in the morning, because that's the start of your day. You're gonna be more active, and you'll have more of a chance to pass the higher protein stuff, and chew that shit. And later, like on the weekends, I don't do hardly any meat. I do mac and cheese. I'll do if I do pizza, it's cheese pizza only. And go easy on that. Hot dogs, no way. We got like a hot dog roller machine we just bought, and we've been going heavy on the Costco hot dogs. And that's good as long, sometimes when I get home from work at like 6 o'clock, by the time I eat, and if I'm starving and if I have a couple hot dogs, those are going to be in my gut when I'm sleeping horizontally, and that's bad news. So I stopped doing that. I have a limit to the amount of protein I can digest during the day. If I have breakfast meat, bacon, or sausage, and eggs, that's a lot. That's my protein limit for the day. If you have any protein during lunch, like a chicken sandwich or chicken salad, you're going to be over protein, and it'll be harder to digest, and you'll be more at risk. So eat foods that are, I find, essentially vegetarian stuff is good. You have to find the good vegetarian things you like. Mashed potatoes are great. Soup is good. Soup is great. Ramen. Even fast food. Like, I get fast food a lot because I'm always on the fucking road, and I never have a chance to do stuff at home and whatever, and it's super convenient. So, like McDonald's. I got McDonald's oatmeal for the first time the other day. It's not great, but it's food, and it's guilt-free. As far as in the morning, it only lasts in my gut like about an hour and a half, just a little bit of oatmeal, but it'll get me through. Olives I like. There's a lot of different foods that are easier to digest, especially when you chew them. but you gotta remain upright and you gotta remain active. I don't take any drugs for this stuff. None. I don't really want to rely on drugs for anything. My wife takes 15 medications regularly for her diabetes and all her other comorbidities and ailments, and that also plays a role in her gastroparesis. It may be, and she takes a opiate, and that also plays a role in that whole thing. So my wife has a different situation. Same symptoms, bedridden all day, throwing up nasty, feel like shit, can't do anything all day. And everybody in our house knows, we call it the burpees. Everybody in our house knows you get the burpees, you're pretty much done for the day. You're down and out. And it's like rolling the dice. Usually only it's me and my wife. On occasion my kids have gotten something like that, but they're younger and I don't know if it's the same thing or whatever. But the things I do work for me, and I just found out about it a couple months ago, and I haven't had a flare-up since. Like I said, I've been dealing with flare-ups for over probably 20 years, and I just started putting together the pieces. I always thought it was a virus. Oh, I didn't cook the meat good enough. Everybody says, oh, you didn't cook your meat good enough. You undercooked your chicken. You must have done something wrong. I'm a great cook, and I'll be the first to tell you, I can cook my ass off. I can barbecue my ass off. I check temps on everything all the time. I know what the fuck I'm doing. And I can steady convince myself I know I'm cooking it. I took a food safety course for my own knowledge and got a certificate just so I know about Shigella and all the different kinds of bacteria on your hands and proper storage of things, proper cleaning of things. I learned all that, all in an effort to beat this crazy illness I had, which is gastroparesis. Now I know. And to find out that so many people suffer from this, I thought I was the only one. I thought I was just an outlier and I'm crazy. My doctor thinks I'm stupid. Just me and my wife have this crazy disease that nobody else in the world has. Wow, I guess we're just stuck with it. We just got a bad roll of the dice. Not the case. I found the support groups. Facebook has a lot of support groups. Chats, real time, where people share ideas, share problems, share solutions. Highly recommend. That's been awesome. And I just started that like this week. And I just wanted to share my experience and my positive outcome with anybody who may have sore feet and gastroparesis. It's because you're off your feet and you're horizontal, your food's not digesting, you got to stay vertical. Get a comfy office chair, or I have like a hard, what do they call those? Like a slider office chair, like a stack chair that we put in front of the computer. It's comfortable, it's got a canvas, but it's upright only. There's no slouching in that chair. That's what you want. Or you want an occasional, or an occasional chair, or a, I forget what they're called. But you want an upright chair. If you're going to be spending time sitting down, if your feet hurt or whatever, or if you're tired, you want to remain upright because gravity plays a huge part. And every once in a while, don't just sit for hours. If you're going to sit and watch a movie for 2 hours, put it on pause halfway through and walk around your house 2 or 3 times. Or stand up and bounce on your toes for a few minutes and go do something or whatever, but just get up just for a little bit and move the food around in your stomach. It will help. It's helped me. So, but anytime afternoon, if you eat meat afternoon, even one cheeseburger from McDonald's, whatever, that's a yellow light. If you have hot dogs for lunch, that's a yellow light. If you have hot dogs for dinner or real hamburger in whatever you cook for dinner, yeah, that's a yellowish to red light. I stay away from meat especially after 1 p.m. and I never eat the quantities I used to. Man, I used to do the barbecue hard, bro. I used to do ground beef hard. Now I switched to turkey, which is better. I used to go hard on that. Now it's nothing. I cook spaghetti, no meat. I cook beef stew. I love beef stew. You cook it without the meat. Leave the meat out. Get the stew mix. Get the potatoes. Get the carrots. Get the celery. Put it all in the crock pot. Leave the meat out. Put in the stew seasoning, and you won't. It's vegetarian. It tastes great, just like beef stew, and you don't miss the meat. Trust me. There's simple things you can do, especially now in Bidenomics. Save yourself some money. Save yourself a huge nick on your grocery bill for buying meat. You know, I can still do sliced turkey, deli turkey, or whatever for lunch on a sandwich. Chips or whatever. Chips, you soak them in water, they turn into powder. Easily digested things. So it's up to you. Just see what works for you, but use common sense. And if you're a dude who loves fucking barbecue, I got some bad news for you, bro. But hey, maybe in moderation, whatever. Everybody's different, but that's all. I just want to make a video to share with people what's worked for me since I found this disease. And hopefully I won't miss any more time at work for the rest of the year, because I'll miss 5 days at work during the course of the year on a Monday every single time because of I'm sick in bed and can't get out of bed and I'm throwing up all day. And so I get 3 weeks paid vacation. I'll spend one whole week paid because we don't get sick days, paid vacation in bed throwing up. So hopefully this will change my life. So far so good. And I think I got her. I think I got it licked. I'm pretty sure this time. So I haven't gone to the doctor for it. I did complain to the doctor that I've been having gastrointestinal problems, and he just put it in my notes. He doesn't really do anything. Again, the ER won't do anything. I've never taken a digestion test with the eggs. I don't feel the need to do that. But that's where I'm at with it. So that's all. Just making this quick video and showing you guys the back of this grocery store for the last 20 minutes. I know it's fascinating, but that's what's up. Anyways, so I got to motivate. Thanks for listening. Good luck with everything. And let me know if you got any questions. I can try to help however I can in the comments. So that's it. Peace. See ya.